Hey, you guys, what's going on? How are you? Of course, you know it's me again. But today, we're doing something a little different. I will start off with a love letter to myself. I'm sorry for the times I doubted you, for shrinking you, for silencing you, for calling you too much when you were just surviving. To be honest, you was just protecting us. You were learning. You really were just becoming. And now, you're evolving. This is exactly why I created Just Between Us with Kimmy. Because healing isn't always pretty. And confidence isn't always loud. And growth doesn't always happen in public. Sometimes it's just you. Sitting with yourself, apologizing, forgiving, choosing better. If you struggle with imposter syndrome, fear, anxiety, or feeling like you wasn't enough, this podcast episode is for you. We're talking about the hard things, the soft things, the woman becoming her best self and bringing that man behind. Press play, start your healing, let's grow just between us. Today's episode is personal, you guys. Not polished, not paneled, not pretty. Just honest. Today, we're apologizing to ourselves. Yep, we are. And it's just me. Because I feel like at some point, we have to wake up and say, hey, I didn't treat myself right. If I be honest, this may have started when I was 5. When I used to tell myself, well, I can't do it. Or I talk myself out of the smallest things. Or I don't dress the way I want to dress because people call me weird. That's called shrinking. See, this is the thing. Imposter syndrome creeps in early. Nobody never know. Nobody never know that you lay in bed at night crying, killing your own dreams. Nobody never know at night that before any bully can have a chance to bully you, you have already bullied yourself out of the biggest things, out of the wildest dreams, becoming your best self, or even thinking of becoming your best self. Little black girl, it's your time. Little black boy, give yourself a hug because it's your time. That little human that you had inside of you, that you still have inside of you, let's bring her to the front row. Let's bring him to the front row because it's his time. Let's just be honest, you guys. An apology can change little things as well as big things. But it's the little things that make the biggest impact. Tell that little person that you just sit to the front row, I am sorry I abandoned you. I am sorry I shrank you. I am sorry I silenced you. I am sorry that I let people touch you. I am sorry I let people talk about you. I am sorry I let people bully you. Kiss that little person that you just invited to the front row on the top of the head and thank him. Thank her for being just who they were. Have you ever realized you was your first bully? Not the world, not your ex, not social media, not your friends in your classroom, but you. Doubting yourself before you even try? Yep, that's bullying. Calling yourself lazy when you're really exhausted? Yep, that's bullying. Shrinking in rooms you were qualified to be in. Yep, that's bullying. Imposter syndrome? Yep. Thinking that you're a fraud? Yes, that's imposter syndrome. Thinking that you're a fraud when you're well qualified. Telling yourself you're not worthy when you belong there. Yep, that's bullying. Overworking to prove your worth. Yep, that's bullying. If you find yourself with any of those checks that you have done that before, give that person that you just invited to the front row a big old hug and kiss and say, I'm sorry. Say, I owe you an apology for abandoning you in rooms that you didn't feel great in. For choosing acceptance over authenticity. I'm sorry. For overworking instead of resting. For silencing your intuition. Let's think back to where it all started. You maybe was 8, 5, 7. For me, I think it was maybe 10. It was maybe 10. This didn't start at 43. It did not start at 25. It started when you was younger. It started when love really didn't have conditions. Childhood pressure. Wanted to be good enough for your parents. Fear of disappointing teachers, your mom, your aunts, your grandparents. When achievement was tied to your worth. Yep. Give that little person you just invited to the front a big old hug. Because you didn't need that much pressure. It was only, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? You needed protection. You didn't need perfection. You needed permission. Yeah. Permission to love hard. You needed permission to make mistakes. You needed permission to say, I'm here, even if I went left and I know I was supposed to go right. You just needed permission. Now, again, if that's you, give that person that you just invited to the front row a big old hug and a kiss on the forehead. When is the last time you even said you're sorry to yourself? Because if we just be honest, we have been under a lot of pressure lately. Intimately, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Yep, if that's you, give that person that you invited to the front row a big old hug. I remember when I first started this podcast, when I tell you that everything came in mind. Have I told this story before? What would I talk about? Who would I talk to? What would be my audience? Fear of being judged about my past. Fear of being told, oh my God, it's her again. And just everything. And God said, let that little girl talk. Again, I had to invite that person that I just said, hey, I'm sorry to. If that's you, give that person a big old hug and a kiss on the forehead. Because everything that I was afraid to do, guess what? I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. I remember even when the shift came, I had to think about boundaries. What will I talk about? What won't I talk about? I had to think about getting rest because being a content creator, asking you guys to listen, being able to know how many episodes I will have. If I be honest, it's a lot of work because I do have kids. I do have a family. I do have work. I do have to prioritize romancing myself, romancing my partner, making sure my kids are good, taking care of myself. And I didn't know exactly where that would come. And I always never wanted to, again, leave that little person by herself. So I wanted to make them a priority. So that's the reason why I said, hey, I'm going to become my best self with this. And I never wanted to leave anyone behind. So, before you correct yourself this week, before you criticize yourself this week, before you call yourself behind this week, remember that little person that you just invited to the front row and give them a big old hug and a kiss on the forehead and say, I'm sorry. Ask yourself, would you speak to your daughter like this when we're gentle parenting? Ask yourself, should I speak to myself like this? And then choose differently. This has been Just Between Us with Kimmy, where we heal out loud, grow on purpose, and become her together. If this episode touched you, share it, send it to a woman or man who needs to forgive herself. And remember, becoming him or her requires loving themselves first. Goodbye, you guys.